Hey, what's going on everyone? Nick here with HN Entertainment's review for Glass, the long-anticipated finale to the story started in Unbreakable. So obviously there has been a lot of talk about Glass, since it is kind of a sequel to both Unbreakable and Split, which connected the films together. The film follows Bruce Willis's David Dunn as he has now taken up the mantle of the Overseer, a essential superhero in the real world, as he's trying to track down Kevin Wendell Crumb, aka the Horde, played by James McAvoy, all the while Samuel L. Jackson's Elijah Price, who goes by the moniker Mr. Glass, is pulling the strings in the background. The film also features newcomers like Sarah Paulson playing Dr. Ellie Staple, and also features the return of characters that we saw in previous films like Casey Cook, Joseph Dunn, and Elijah Price's mother. So my first impressions walking out of the film was that it was ultimately a disappointment. I was really actually looking forward to seeing how they were going to tie the narratives together, because Unbreakable was, such a great film. I still regard it as almost a near masterpiece. I can still go back and watch it and it's still great. I was a little bit more mixed on Split, but when you actually watch this film, it's even more disappointing than what Split was. Basically, this film doesn't really take influence or tone from either of the films, and instead goes a bit more comic booky and otherworldly. The thing that I liked most about Unbreakable was how straight it played the narrative. It was very much a grounded in reality film about superheroes, and there was the whole metaphors of comic book characters and everything, and that was really what kind of surrounded the narrative. It was almost like a person obsessed with comic books actually becomes a real life comic book supervillain and has a superhero to fight against. The film spends the majority of its runtime with the three main characters locked up in a mental institute and being interviewed by psychiatric specialist Dr. Ellie Staple, who believes that the three of them are suffering from delusions of grandeur, believing that they are superpowered beings. Things spiral out of control, and ultimately they do have a showdown. Without getting into spoiler territory here, I think that the third act of the film and its big, major Shyamalan-esque twist is going to really divide audiences, because it doesn't pay off at all in my opinion. Ultimately, I'm going to give Glass a 5 out of 10. I really didn't like the film, and it's hard to say actually, because like I said, I was such a fan of Unbreakable, and I was really hoping that this would turn out to be a really satisfying conclusion to that whole storyline, especially since it's been roughly 20 years in the making. If you guys got a chance to check out Glass, drop your thoughts down in the comments below, but let's try to keep it spoiler free, because like I mentioned, there are pretty big reveals and twists that happen in the film. If you like this review, check out our previous reviews for films like Bumblebee, Aquaman, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and be sure to stick with HN Entertainment for the latest and greatest on everything in pop culture. This has been Nick, I'll see you guys next time.